Hey guys, welcome back to the homestead. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Maine. We're working on the camper solar system. We've gone ahead and ordered a couple more Battle Born batteries, and we're expanding the system a little bit. Biggest reason really is that we ended up boondocking a couple nights. One of them, it was about 95 degrees outside, and it was really nice to be able to run the air conditioner. So with two more batteries, we'll be able to go completely through the night with no problem at all. So why don't I get you guys set up? You can watch what we're doing here. So that's a pretty good shot of the batteries. And if I bring you in here to show you what we got going on, you may all remember it from the last video, but let's see if we can get you a shot here. It's a little dark in here. I don't have any lights in the bay, but you get the idea. We have our breaker box here for the camper, the leveling and the brakes, our DC to DC converter, our MPPT charge controller. We have our Victron 24 volt inverter. Then we have our midnight mini DC where everything is happening. So inside here we have 300 amp breakers. We planned for the third string of batteries right from the start. That is bus barred to a single 175 amp breaker that feeds the Victron. And up in here we have some more breakers. We have one for the DC to DC converter, and we have two for the charge controller, one for the PV in and one for the battery out. And down in here we have the Victron shunt and the circuit board for the, I think it's BMV 702. So what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is get you set up here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to unhook these batteries and get the cables out of our way, so that we're not really working with anything live while we do this. I mean, the only thing that is actually live at this point is the battery, but still. And we've already made up all of our cables, so we're good there. So by doing this, I've removed any voltage, any power, any potential out of the mini DC from midnight. And that way now, everything's right out of the way. I can go ahead and put in my two new batteries over here, start routing my cables, and I don't have to worry about something touching something. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to let you guys take a little break while I go get another battery. On a good note, these things only weigh about 30 pounds, so they're really easy to lug. We'll bring you back when we get cables a little bit more ready to go. Alright, so we're back, and as you can see, we've got our third string of batteries in. This was 24 volts. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the video, but we did in the beginning, the first video, which I'll put a link to. We've got our cables all in, and one of the things you want to do when you're doing multiple strings of batteries is try to keep your cables all the same length. You know, it's kind of imperative because you're trying to get the same resistance in the complete circuit per string. Otherwise, one string may charge better than the other, and it's hard on the battery. So that's what we've done here. We've got our cables all up. That's why these two are up in the air to make them a little neater here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do some tie wrapping, closing some stuff back up. We're going to check some voltages to make sure the new set is fully charged. If it's not, we're going to go ahead and turn it on and let it fully charge, and then we'll parallel them all together. I'm not sure if Battle Born recommends that or not, to be honest with you. I know a lot of lithium manufacturers recommend a full charge on the battery before you put it into the system of batteries. So that's what we're going to do. So go ahead and watch. We'll get this done. So I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but I think you can. So I'm going to now is I'm going to check each string of batteries. 27.18, 27.18, and 26.68. So you'll see this string is down some. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this string on and the charge controller and do a full charge on this one. So we'll turn that string on, and then we'll turn on the charge controller, and it is on. Now we'll see if that number starts coming up, and you see it is 26.69, 26.7, 7.1, 7.2, 7.3. So that's going to come up pretty quick. So we're going to go ahead and let that do a full charge, and then we'll put the system, put all the strings in parallel, and we'll turn the inverter and everything back on, and we'll bring you back and show you when it's all running. Alright, so we're all buttoned up. Let's see if I can stand back here and show you a little bit about what's going on. Again, we've got the cover back on this, all of our wires tied up neatly. The inverter is actually running, powering the RV. All of the 12 volt loads are running off the DC to DC converter. Really impressed with this little guy right here. That's, see if I can get you a better shot of that. Let's see, Victron Orion. And that little thing will do 70 amps at 12 volts out. And that's run all of our slides, runs our auto level, runs everything. Just works great. So really happy about that. The whole system actually very happy. So that's pretty much it. That wraps up really getting the solar system where we always wanted it on this RV. We sort of always intended on having 6 batteries or 3 strings. So those are 100 amp hours per string, and gives us 300 amp hours at 25 volts. That's a fair amount of energy. It should do everything we need to do. The one thing we noticed the last trip when we ran boondocking, we ran the refrigerator the whole day traveling to our boondock site on AC power. And then when we got there, we ran the air conditioner as well, because it was 90 something degrees outside at night. So we ran the air conditioner for short bursts, maybe like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, but then we turned it on, went to bed. And we turned it off when the outside temperature dropped back down. We were able to open up the windows. So we have noticed that in these RVs, they're kind of like a little oven when the sun's out. And if you can bring the temperature down to tolerable and then open your windows, maybe get a little fan, you can get by with a lot less energy than running the air conditioner all night long with the windows closed up. But either way, we've got a fair amount of energy here now. We're quite excited to go try this out and go do a little boondocking. We're hoping this winter to spend 3, maybe 4 months on the road in this thing. And then that's kind of our goal, is hopefully moving forward in future winters, that will be our plan, is to basically be snowbirds somewhere other than Maine. Jump in the truck, connect to this thing, and spend the winter exploring the country, seeing sites where it's not necessarily snowing. So any questions on the solar system, leave them down below. We'll do our best to answer them for you. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.